Okay, so, I guess it was like, oh yeah, it was August. My friend Samantha had been making a playlist of different YouTubers telling their really freaky stories to their channel, and a lot of them were like things about like how they almost got kidnapped, how someone stalked them. There was some paranormal experience ones, some bad babysitting ones, all really good videos. She sent it to me because I was having a rough time, and she thought it would be a great way for me to just watch really long videos and get my mind off of stuff. So I didn't watch the playlist for, well, over a month, because now it's September. And last night I was like, you know what, I'm bored. Let's watch some really long YouTube videos. So I started watching them, and I got really excited to tell my own story. And I know I don't have a lot of followers on YouTube, but I thought, hey, who doesn't like a freaking creepy story? So this happened to me, it had to be like, it was like winter time, so I guess it was like maybe February. It was shortly after I got my car. Wait, I can actually look that up. I had the date written down because it was right before I hit my coworker's car. But that's a different story. So I was hanging out with my two friends, the one, Samantha, who made that playlist for me. They're twins, Samantha and Lauren, and I'd been hanging out with them, and Samantha had been working that day, or babysitting or something. So it was just me and Lauren for most of the night. We waited for Samantha to come home, and she didn't get home until like 12. So we hung out for a while up in Lauren's room even after she came home, and we were watching like Sia videos and Dance Mom videos. I got them really into Dance Moms. It was around like probably almost 3 a.m. when I left their house, and we live, I don't know, like it's like probably a 7-minute drive between our houses. And there's two ways to get from my house to their house, or their house to my house. And you can either take the very lit, like main roadway where you hit traffic lights and yada yada, or you can take the back way, which I tend to like to do. I stopped doing it partway through the winter because the potholes got so bad, because it is back roads. But it's like this back roads that lead, like, it's not really a shortcut or anything, but it kind of leads, like, it's all wooded areas. There's a neighborhood, and then you like kind of cross over a bridge, and you go past a farm, and eventually you get over by like my end. You're kind of like cutting, it's like where we live, it's like basically all the roads make squares with bigger squares, so you're just kind of cutting through one of the squares. So it's like, again, 3 a.m. I'm driving. I'm awake though, like I'm not falling asleep at the wheel or anything. I have my music on, but not too loud. So I'm like just driving down this back road. It's really dark. And I have my high beams on. And so I'm driving, and I kind of get it's like past the neighborhood that's on that back road. So again, now I'm like with just trees around me. And I'm driving, I guess on the right side of the road, not that it matters, I guess. I don't know why I felt the need to add that, but as I'm going, all of a sudden I see something like come into my view, and I slam on my brakes and scream. And you'd think like, oh, was it a deer, Carly? No, it wasn't a fucking deer. It was someone walking down, not across the street, down the middle of my lane, like walking and towards my car. And I stop, and there's maybe let's say probably like 5 feet between him and the hood of my car, and he doesn't stop. Like, I mean, he slows, I guess, down. I don't know how fast he'd been walking before. Like, it just, all of a sudden he was in my line of sight. He doesn't at all, like, I have my high beams on, they're right in his face. He doesn't flinch, he doesn't do anything. All he does is, because he's more towards like the yellow line, so he's like right where like I'm sitting, and all he does is slightly like move on a diagonal path, so he's coming towards my like passenger seat, but it's like barely. Like, he's still walking towards my car more than anything. And so, I literally had my hand over my mouth. I just let out a scream. I had my hand still over my mouth, wide-eyed. This guy has no emotion. Like, he's basically dressed in all black. He has his hood up. It's a white guy. He's probably like between, at the youngest, probably 18, at the oldest, 23, probably closer to my age. I was 20 at the time. He's like dark black hair that's kind of like sticking out of his hood. He had, I'm almost positive he had glasses on now I think of it, but it was just kind of like this like dead stare, like super creepy. So he's like slowly walking in. First I'm just sitting there like, is you, like, part of me is concerned because I'm a decent person, but then I'm like, holy fuck, no, I'm not that concerned to get murdered, because my doors are all unlocked. Like, after this I really started locking my doors when I drive at night, but my doors are unlocked. I was like, if he gets that passenger door, there's nothing for getting this kid, like, stopping this kid from getting my car and like killing me, or I don't know if he has like a gun in his pocket or a knife, or honestly, he was big enough he could probably take me. I mean, I'm a skinny girl. Like, not that I can't hold my own, especially like on adrenaline I probably could, but still, I was like, no, I'm not having any of this. So I have to literally, because he's still going so slow, and like, this makes it seem like I sat there for a long time. It was literally like seconds. Like, I really didn't sit around, but he was going so slow, and like, he wasn't even close to the side of my car yet. So I actually had to drive my car over the yellow lines into the other lane, go around him, and then still hand over the mouth, like I have my wheel, and I look at my rear view, and he's still basically in the middle of the road. Like, he just kind of like, he's still slightly on that weird diagonal path that I made him kind of go to. And so I'm driving. At first, straight up, I was just sobbing, but no tears were coming from my eyes. I was just that freaking scared. I've never had anything like that happen to me. And I was like, I mean, I wasn't a new driver because it took me a really long time to get my license. Not that I passed the first time, but I spent 2 years on my permit. So like, I've been driving for a while, but this was like, I was still kind of new at driving alone. So for this to happen to me really fucking scared me. And I almost straight up like could have killed someone. And it wasn't my fault. Like, he was just walking down the middle of the road. Like, I wasn't being reckless. But I mean, the speed limit on that street's like 40. So, and then my stupid mind went right to like, I was like, oh my god, what if I blanked out like that, and just like my brain fabricated like me not hitting him, and what if I actually hit him, and I'll wake up tomorrow and there'll be blood on my car, and there'll be like some news bulletin out for some girl that murders people with their cars, like a hit and run, even though I knew that was like ridiculous. But I was like, oh my god, like, what if? And so then I get past, like, there's a little bridge you kind of cross over, and when I hit that part, I literally like stopped making any sobbing noises, but like tears were just falling down my face, like just uncontrollably, like, and I'm pretty good at handling stressful situations, but that was just too much. So I drive home, still tears rolling down my face. Where I park, like, I don't park in my driveway because it's like well, you can fit about 3 cars in it, but it's like, you know, you block people. So I, at the time, we hadn't had our second driveway, like, put gravel in yet, so I was just parking alongside of, like, the trees in my, my yard, which is like really creepy at night too. I have a big yard. So I stop there, I throw my car in park, I lock my door at this point, and I'm so freaking just terrified and scared to even get out of my car. I was like, okay, what can I do? And I called Lauren up, and as I'm calling her, I'm like, shit, I don't want her to I don't want to scare her, even though I'm fucking scared. So she picks up, and she was like, Carly, what's up? Like, did you forget something? And I was like, and I must have sounded so dazed to her. Like, I must have sounded like I was like drugged, or like not drunk, obviously. Like, she knows I didn't do anything between when I saw her, but I was just like, I still must have freaking scared her. So I was like, I almost hit someone on the way home, and she was like, you mean a car? And I was like, no, a person walking down. So I tell her the whole story that you just heard. And so she was like, okay, I'll stay on the line while you walk into your house. Like, I mean, it's not a far walk from where I park to, like, my door, but still, like, I still don't even like doing it all the time at night. Like, I still get freaked out. And, so I get in my house and we're talking, and now she's freaked out, because, like, I just, like, told her in extreme detail about this guy that had no emotion as I almost hit him, and we're, like, talking, and we're, like, trying to kind of guess what it could be, and we're, like, and she was like, well, do you think he's drunk? And I was like, no, there was no stumbling, I was like, maybe he was on drugs, like, I could believe that, because he was just so dazed, but, like, I know drunk people stumble, they would have had more reaction to that. And so basically we came to the conclusion, potentially aliens. We thought maybe they dropped them off right there. We both thought at the same time, like, what if it was like one of those ghost stories, you know, those urban legends where it's like the girl who got hit by a drunk driver, like, warns, like, people not to drink and drive, one of those things. But I mean, he seemed like he's pretty solid. Like, if I would have hit him, it would have fucked up my car and fucked up me and fucked up him. We thought, okay, it could be on drugs, like, because we do kind of, like, where I live, it's not, like, a bad area. We, like, live in a really nice, affluent area, but since it is more affluent, like, people can get a hold of stuff, like, they have the money to, like, buy drugs and stuff, and, so we were like, maybe that's it. And then, like, the other option we thought, like, which is really sad, like, I don't like to think about this option, but, like, maybe he just didn't care. Like, maybe he was in a really, like, shitty situation and, just didn't fucking care. And, like, was like, okay, if I die, I die. It was just the weirdest experience ever. I told my coworkers, like, that happened, I guess that happened on a Saturday night. So, like, the next Monday when I went to work, I was, like, telling my coworkers, and they thought, like, pretty much the same thing. I mean, minus the aliens or potential ghost thing. But they were, like, my one coworker was, like, maybe he didn't care. And we were, like, yeah. Which is, again, really sad. And I hope, like, whoever that guy is that I almost hit, I hope he's okay. And I hope he didn't, I mean, I never heard anything about some guy getting hit afterwards. So I assume no one else hit him that night. And maybe I steered him to, like, the side of the road because he was still kind of on that diagonal path. But it is just one of the most creepy experiences I've ever experienced in my life. Sorry, my allergies are really bad today. And I think about it to this day. I tell people about it all the time, and, like, I, like, warn people to be really careful on that road because, I mean, one, the potholes get bad. Two, there's a lot of deer, but I guess you never know when someone's gonna walk down the middle of your freaking lane at 3 a.m. So yeah, this is one of my creepy stories. And I hope you enjoyed. I'll probably post more of these. Like, I really want to use my YouTube channel more because I don't enough. So I'll probably post more of these. I have a ton of weird, creepy stories of people being creeps to me and my friends. And I'd like to share them with people, whoever is watching or listening. I'll probably post this on my Tumblr. And thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye!